guys, it's Anne. Welcome back to my channel. This video was upon request, which I love video requests, so if you ever have any, always leave them down below or message me over on Instagram at Now&Forever AGIG. But today, obviously by the title, we're going to be talking about how I choose the dolls that I want and how I choose the names for them. So funny story, I actually have filmed this video once before, but I was not feeling well. As a lot of you guys know, I have been having really bad migraines, and that day that I filmed that video, I was having severe migraines like all day, and I was like a zombie in the video, and the entire time I was filming it, I was literally just saying repeatedly, I hate this video. So I'm redoing it because I feel like it's an important video, and Alley Cat Loves AG also did a video on this a week or two ago, I think, but her video kind of like gave me a little bit more inspiration on how I should do mine. So make sure you guys go check that out. I will have that linked below because I feel like her video is probably more interesting than mine because she goes through every single one of her dolls. But I'm only going to be doing a select few of them because a lot of them came with names and I didn't change them. I'm also drinking hot cocoa, so before I get into how I name my dolls, I want to talk about how I choose them because I don't really have like a specific rule, I guess. So I have 12 dolls. I don't have a very large collection compared to other people on this platform, I guess. So it's not like I am trying to complete any collections, like I'm not trying to get all of the Girl of the Years or all of the historical dolls or anything. So my criteria for getting dolls is a bit different. The main way that I choose dolls is by their looks, like if they're pretty or if I like their hair or something. I don't know, it's not anything that's super specific. It's just pretty much if I think they're pretty, if I think they would be a good fit in my collection. Like right now I really want a Jess mold because I don't have a Jess mold, which is like how, but that is, I guess, sort of a way of like how I get dolls. Like I need that face mold, and I just recently this year got a Sonali mold, so I'm trying to like complete my molds, I guess, as of right now. I mean, they're coming out with so many new ones, I'm not going to be able to keep track and keep up with it, but I feel like the classic mold, the Josefina mold, the Sonali mold, and the Jess mold are like the four main ones, basically, like the four original. And then of course there's the Marie Grace mold. That's a little different because up until recently there was only one Marie Grace mold ever. So then a different way that I kind of look at it when getting dolls, earlier this year I got Kit. She was my 10th doll, I think. Yes. But I wanted Kit because I liked her as a kid, but I also really liked her story and her movie. I've never read her book, so like when I say her story, I mean her movie, which I know they're not like identical or anything. But that was one main reason why I wanted Kit. But other than that, I don't know. Just if I like how they look and I feel like they would be a good fit for my collection. And that's pretty much how it's always been ever since I was a kid. So yeah, let's get into how I named my dolls that I have chose today. I've grabbed 7 dolls. They're pretty much the 7 that I have come up with like a full name for. So like maybe not necessarily last, but first and middle. Who should we start with? Should we go chronologically? Yeah. Also, my dolls are wearing their Christmas outfits, obviously. So, but right off the bat, we have my Josefina Montoya doll. So as many of you know, my Josefina is Josie to me. I feel like that kind of speaks for itself. It's just kind of a slimmed down version of Josefina / Josefina, because as a kid I was not aware that her name was pronounced Josefina. But when I first got her as a kid, I did not like her, and that is when I called her Josefina, and then I started to like her again, and I didn't want her name to be Josefina or Josefina anymore, so it was just shortened to Josie, and ever since I have been a child, her name is Josie. So her middle name is Gloriana, which that is like an ode to Jane the Virgin. I really liked that show when I was in high school, and her name was Jane Gloriana Villanueva. I haven't watched it in so long.
When Jane Gloriana Villanueva was a mere 10 years old.
So it is Josefina Gloriana Montoya, but it's Josie Gloriana pretty much. Her actual name is still Josefina or Josefina, but she's just Josie to me. Next we have my 27 Dakota. She is quite obviously a Just Like You doll, so she didn't come with a name or anything, so I got to pick it all out myself. And she was my first Just Like You doll, so it was kind of fun for me as a kid to kind of pick out how I wanted her to be. So the name Dakota came from another American Girl character that wasn't a doll, but it was Lainey's best friend. I had Lainey's laptop, or I have Lainey's laptop, but on the laptop one of the screens is an email, and Lainey's best friend's name is Dakota, so I thought that was really a cute name as a kid, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so fun, I want a doll named Dakota. So that's where her first name came from. Her middle name is Ray. It's a pretty typical middle name, and her last name is just my last name because when I was a child I was not creative with that. But yeah, so this is Dakota Ray. I think it fits her. Also, as a kid I called her Coda. I don't call her Coda anymore because my cousin had a friend named Dakota and they called her Coda. So I feel like some of the doll names that I have are more interesting than others. This one's just kind of funny because like I came up with this name from another American Girl character that doesn't like necessarily fully exist. But next we have my doll Alex. She is my look-alike. I got her right after Addie. She was my second Just Like You doll, and before I got her I already had a name picked out for her because I was a child. I still do that before I get dolls. I do pick out a name, but I have always loved the name Alex. Her full name is Alexandria. I think the main reason I named her this is when I was a kid, my babysitter's name was Alex. I think her full name was Alexandra though, but she kind of looked like her, and she also looks like me, and I just really like the name Alex, so, but I did Alexandria. I'm pretty sure that's her full name. It might be Alexandra. I think it is Alexandra. I guess I don't know. What is your actual name? She's always just been Alex. Her middle name is Lee. Again, not super creative, but I was a child, so it's Alexandra Lee Anderson. Last name Anderson. I'm pretty sure as a kid I got the last name Anderson from ads on TV for the Anderson show with like Anderson Cooper. I don't know, he's got like really white hair.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper and this is The Late Show's Precise Advice.
So that's where she got her last name from. I'm like 99% sure. I don't remember though. Next is this beauty here. This is my doll Reagan. I got her when I was in 7th grade and I was like obsessed with the name Reagan. I was like, I still think it's a beautiful name, but I was like, oh my gosh, I need a doll named Reagan. And I don't necessarily remember like picking her out very much. I do know I bought her with my own money, just like on a whim, but I think I just thought she was really pretty. I'm a sucker for dolls with green or hazel eyes, so it was like love at first sight basically. And I really wanted a doll with curly hair because Reagan is actually my only doll with curly hair, and I absolutely love it. It's so beautiful, especially since I recurled it. I got the name Reagan from a kid I went to school with. His older sister's name was Reagan, and fun fact, him and his brother and his sister were all named after presidents, like President Reagan. Like that's where their parents got their names from, and I thought that was really cool. But that's like how the name Reagan was introduced to me. And her middle name has actually changed. It was Louise, but then I changed it to Eloise. I don't know why I wanted to add the L in front of it, like the EL, but it's Reagan Eloise. I think it's beautiful, very pretty. Not that Louise isn't pretty, but Eloise just like fit better, I don't know. And her last name is Hayes. I'm pretty sure I got this last name from someone my brother was in high school with. Their last name is Hayes. This is just how I got my names as a kid, so yeah. Reagan Eloise Hayes. Also, just saying, it is very important to me that my dolls' names just like roll off the tongue, especially getting dolls now, like as an adult. Like, it just has to fit, it just has to make sense. Next is this beauty queen herself. So this is obviously an Isabel Palmer doll. I got her when I was 16, maybe? I think I was 16. I don't know. But I did not play with her much, obviously. I don't know, like I was in high school and I just kind of like got her on a whim. I got her for like $50 brand new in box at my church auction, so that's fun. But as I kind of got my dolls back out, I was like, I never connected with her, so I was like, I want to name her something different, and I didn't know that was allowed. I was like, that's weird, because I think when I first like got back into AGTube, I was watching Alley Cat Loves AG, and I was like, oh my god, she has dolls that are like come with names that she's renamed. I was like, I did not know that was allowed. I switched it up. I changed her name. I went back and forth a few times, but I just pulled a name off of my baby names list that I keep in my phone, and her name is Owlette. I feel like most of you know that by now, but I got the name Owlette from the movie Clueless. It's my all-time favorite movie. It's a 90s movie. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. It's so good. But Owlette is not like a main character in the movie. So in the scene, Cher is talking to Dion and they're trying to hook up Ty with someone from their school. And then they're like listing off a bunch of names of guys, and then Cher's like, oh my gosh, Elton, he just broke up with Owlette.
I got it. Elton, he just broke up with Owlette.
And ever since then, I have loved the name Owlette. I think it's so pretty. And like that movie is just so like, I don't know, it's just like perfect in every way. And then Oulette's middle name actually just came to be not that long ago. It's Juliana, not Juliana, Juliana. I'm pretty sure I got this off of a baby names website, because that's where I go to find a lot of my names, and I'll just like say it over and over again until I find one that fits good. And her last name is still Palmer, just because I wanted to like try to keep some of her like originality, I guess. So it's Owlette Juliana Palmer, which now that I'm saying it, it doesn't flow that well. Owlette Juliana. Owlette Juliana does, but Palmer doesn't really fit her vibe. I'm not changing her last name though. I finally stopped calling her Isabel. I finally am starting to call her Owlette constantly, so that's a win, and I'm not gonna change anything else. I debate on even including Blair because I don't call her by her renamed name, but in case you didn't know, Blair's name is now June. I got the name June from the song Johnny and June. If you guys don't know that song, it's like, I wanna love like Johnny and June. It's a country song about Johnny Cash and June, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. So I renamed her June. I think it fits. It's just the problem that I can't stop calling her Blair. Her middle name is Iris, like a flower, because she's like my just like mellow, like girly girl, but like not super girly girl, like not like Josie. She's more like, I don't know, like quiet and soft, but like girly. I don't know. So her name is June Iris Wilson. I do think this flows nicely, but it's just the fact I cannot stop calling her Blair. Which I like the name Blair, so I don't really know why I felt the need to rename her. And then the last doll that we are going to talk about today is Ferris. So Ferris is my custom Gabriella doll. She doesn't even look like Gabriella. It's so crazy. I love her though. She was my first custom doll. I did her myself. She's not like super custom. She just has a new wig and freckles that are very faint, but look how cute they are. I love her freckles. I love her. I love Ferris. When I bought the Gabriella doll, I bought the wig, I had no idea what I was gonna name her at all. I liked the name Ferris, but like I wasn't intending on naming her that. So when I finally got like the wig on her and the freckles and everything, I was like trying to just like spitball names, you know? And of course I've been loving the name Ferris, but not like Ferris Bueller's Day Off Ferris, like not F-E-R-R-I-S, more like P-H-A-R-R-I-S, because it's just prettier that way. And a guy I went to high school with, his little sister's name is Ferris with a P-H. I don't know how like the rest of it's spelled, but I thought it was really pretty, and like it's unique, and like it just fits her, because I feel like when you think of Ferris, it does sound like a boy's name. Maybe I'm just thinking about that because of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It just is very suiting for her. And her middle name is Alondra. I think Ferris Alondra, just like, there are so many middle name debates, because like I wanted something that was more like feminine. Like Alondra is like such a pretty name, and like not that Ferris isn't a pretty name, but Ferris just more sounds like a little bit more masculine, like tough guy. But like Alondra, like I don't know. And then her last name is Brennan. Ferris, Alondra, Brennan flows so good. This is probably like the best name combination out of every single one of my dolls, and I'm not even kidding. I got the name Alondra from a baby names list, and I also got the last name Brennan from a last names list. So that is how I named the majority of my dolls. Like I said, the other ones that were not included came with names and still have their names, but I really love all of my dolls' names. I'm really happy with all of them. I feel like their names aren't super duper unique. I mean, like Alex is a very typical name, and so is like Josie. I honestly feel like Dakota might be too, but either way, they all fit their name very well in my opinion. This video is just kind of thrown together. I feel like this is technically a let's chat video. Whoops, forgot to say that. If you guys have any tips or tricks on picking out dolls or naming dolls, make sure you leave those down below. I will have a pinned comment where you can leave those tips and tricks for everybody, because some people do really struggle with it, and I do honestly sometimes too, especially with Blair, because leave me a tip on how to call your dolls their right name, please. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!